Hello and welcome back, fellow crafters. Stacy from Dies to Die For and ShopScrapbook101.com. Today we'll be using our dandelion die and making a cute little dandelion card. Here's the items that you'll need for today's card. We'll be using Tim Holtz Distress Inks in 3 colors, the tea dye, peeled paint, and salty ocean. You'll need a regular pair of scissors and definitely a micro tip pair of scissors for this. Our die pick tool, reverse action tweezers, a white card base. The only die we'll be using for this card is the Dandelion Wishes die. We'll need our paper in 3 colors, a yellow, a green, and I used a pearly white kind of color. That's the Basil Birthstones. And then the Tim Holtz alcohol ink applicators in the mini. We need 2 of those. Oh, and then always an extra piece of copy paper or whatever you like to use to ink on. All right, let's get these moved out of the way. Okay, we're gonna get started ink blending on our background a little bit. Take the peeled paint, distress ink, and I always have a piece of copy paper or something behind me so I can make my mess on there. And I rub the applicator on the copy paper a little bit until I get the color I want. I just want a really pale green on this background. Get a little bit more. You just want to go up the card base a little bit. Switch over to the salty ocean. I love the salty ocean color. I think because this color is so vibrant of a blue, I'm going to add a little bit more of the peeled paint. Make it a little darker. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's close these back up quick. Now, your Sending Dandelion Wishes die. There's going to be a lot of cutting on this. First, you're going to want to cut the dandelion out in the pearly color paper, and then another green to make your flyaway dandelion. Then you're going to want to cut 7 just green stems, and this doesn't matter if it's covering the whole way. If you have a little scrap of paper, just put it on there, because all you really want is the stem and the very center part. We're going to clip all the rest off. And then cut 7 of these little yellow pieces right here. This is actually the center for the dandelion. We're going to use it as a top though. And then cut 5 to 7 of these. You can cut these in half and use 2 pieces if you want. You don't want to do all that cutting. Then the yellow pieces, you can cut those 2 layers thick. On my machine anyway, I use a big shot to save a little bit of cutting time. And then these little flyaway pieces, like I call them, cut those out 2 times in the white. The Sending Dandelion Wishes in the green once. Then I'm going to show you how you assemble the dandelions. Set these aside a minute. Okay. The first puffy dandelion, just take it and trim the bottom off, or the stem off. There's a few different adhesives I use for my die cuts. Today we're going to be using a fine line glue. This dries pretty quick. And you can get it in all those tiny spaces. Just take it and turn it over and dab it on the paper a bit. Get any excess off. Take your green stem that you made for this piece. Line them up on there. And this glue is nice because it does give you a little bit of time to be able to move them around where you need them. See, I'm not exactly lined up on a few. I can still move it around a little. Oh, now that one's off. There we go. That's pretty, nope. These pieces. These, I took the tea dye and pre-inked them before we started. You just go around the edges really softly. Maybe a little bit in the center to make them stand out. These are going to be your center pieces. For this little dandelion guy. Just put them in there whatever way you want. There's no right or wrong way. Got a little adhesive on my finger. There we go. Okay, set that aside. Now let's show you how to make the yellow dandelions. This, I'm going to cut all these pieces off so that they don't show behind the yellow we're going to use. Just make sure you don't cut the stem. And when you're cutting against the stem with your fine tip scissors, hopefully, always cut this side first so the stem's held tight. If you cut this side first, this kind of flies away and it's hard to get this little piece clipped off. Just clip that little piece like that. And then clip on this side. And go all the way around. This, you can get one piece out of this. I just kind of shape it like a dandelion would be shaped, just round it a little around the bottom. Maybe cut this long piece off. I really don't like him. The green fringe, you can get two pieces out of this if you just cut from about here over to that little groove. Kind of make it a little wavy, make it look natural. Add some more glue onto these, and on my first card I had the stems all facing the same way. On this one I did them a little different. I faced a few this way, but then I flipped the stem over and faced a couple that way. Like that, look a little bit more. We're going to do this one that way. First layer, it doesn't matter how much glue you get on there. If it squeezes out, then just wipe it off. And if you have a little piece that's still showing when you put your yellow on, just clip that off. Now the green piece, put a little glue on it. Dab it on the paper again to get rid of the excess. These are kind of fun because you can face them different ways, or, oh, I didn't get rid of that piece. Face them different ways or turn the stems, but that's how you make the yellow dandelion. Then I'm going to take my tea dye again and ink all of my dandelions. Normally I would wait till this was a little drier, but then you do that, you make 7 or 8 yellow dandelions and ink them all like that. We also have our little flyaway pieces. I took some brown and just dabbed ink around the corners of those. Just a little bit. I love my ink, so the more ink the better. Okay, now all your pieces should be made and ready for assembly. Oh, I also took the Sending Dandelion Wishes words and just put a little bit of the tea dye around the edges of those and a little in the center too. Ink always gives it character. All right, I think I need to change my sheet of paper. Starting to get glue everywhere. All right, now flip all your pieces over. I start by placing my little white dandelion first, because everything that you do is going to center around that little guy, where you place your words and where you place the rest of the dandelions. So if you want to get that one glued first, then just put the stem right towards the edge. You can even go over the edge. You can clip it off a little if you'd like. And towards the left side, press it down a little. And I didn't get glue on these. They're popping up a little bit. That's okay. I really like the popped up look, so that is fine. Let's put our yellow dandelions on there. Same process. Then I just kind of put some up and some down, whatever pattern works best for you, whatever you like best. Okay, you can see I have those all down now. The stems are hanging off the edges, so you're just going to take your regular scissors. Cut those off, sweep them away. Let's do our words. A little bit of glue on these guys. Just dotting it everywhere. The other 2 words I've pre-glued, so you don't have to sit here and watch me gluing stuff all night. Okay. This is where these come in handy. All these little words. Turn it over, dab it off a little bit. I want my wishes word somewhere around there. Looks good. I'll do my sending up on the top. And last, the dandelion word. think I want the D to overlap a little bit today. It's up to you. You can spread them out more or overlap them. Okay, now the last step, the little flyaway pieces. A little bit of glue on those. Dab them off and then just put them wherever you want them. And again, I already pre-glued most of the pieces. You have an empty space, just fill it in with the little flyaway pieces. And don't forget to point some going down too. That one just coming out a little. I can never make the same card twice, so you can see this looks a little bit different from the original. But that's okay, because that's what handmade cards are supposed to look like. For these little flyaway pieces, I actually cut them out 2 times. I cut 2 of each because I like a lot of them on here. All right, and that's how you make a dandelion wishes card. Thanks for joining us for our Sending Dandelion wishes word. We hope you enjoyed the card as much as I did. I love that die. And don't forget to check out our featured products that we used in today's video. The Tim Holtz alcohol ink mini applicators, the replacement pads for them, a fine line glue, and then of course our Sending Dandelion wishes word. If you use code DANDELION between now and August 5th, 2020, you'll receive 5% off these 3 products, and all of our dies to die for, not just the Dandelion Wishes, are 20% off until August 5th. No code needed for that. And then don't forget to join us on August 1st for our next Craft Along class. We will be doing this live on Facebook on August 1st at 6 p.m. It's during the one-of-a-kind stamp and scrapbook show. We will also be posting the video on YouTube. So don't forget to join us for that one. It uses our fun new cell phone die.